Welcome to Better Yourself podcast. This is your boy Frank Rice, and today I got a special guest for you guys. So, as you know, every guest is somebody special, but today is different because we gotta bring some positive vibe. She's actually coming all the way from US. Her name is Lynnette. She's an actress, she's a dreamer, she's a believer. So the reason I'm talking to her today because I found her online on Instagram. She always have that good positive content. She do what we call Thursday. Her video her speech is all about good mindset, positive. She have nothing negative about her. Like she always trying to put that energy. So that's the reason why I have her today. So we're gonna talk about a few things. I want to talk about coronavirus. How do people deal with the anxiety? How to overcome all the chaos going on today and around the world. So I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm just gonna let her introduce herself and tell her, to tell us who she is. Let's get it.
All
So,
right.
hey.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. Thank you so much. I just want to start this off by thanking you for having
Yeah.
this platform, first of all, and second of all, for asking me to come on. And this will illustrate the beauty of social media because we've never
Yeah,
met
that's right.
face to face except at this moment right now. But I admire what you do, and I would dare say likewise, you admire what I do. That's why I'm on your
Good.
podcast. So this is just one of the beautiful things that social media can do. It can bring two people who are on opposite sides of the world together. So I'm just really happy to be
Yeah.
here. So I wanted to say that first off.
That's good. So before we start, I want to say I appreciate what you do because the thing is I do podcast with people, but I choose the people I want to talk to, and when I see
Yeah.
somebody that something they can bring out, that's the reason actually I wanted to talk with you today. So tell me
Yeah.
more about you actually. What do you do? Because I know on your profile you talk about dreamer believer. So what do you do? Like can you
Oh,
please
yeah,
tell me more?
sure. Thank you for asking. So, by trade, I have a MFA in performing arts, but I'm actually a writer and
Oh,
producer, and I act as well. So, I have my
good.
own web series on YouTube. Y'all have to check it out. It's called 500 Terrible Dates. And basically, what I want to do is I create art so people can realize that you don't always have to go to the establishment to be able to do what it is that you love to do. I believe in self-production. I believe in not waiting for anyone to put you on. You got to put yourself on, because if you wait for people, it'll never happen, possibly.
That's
So
right.
that's what I do. So what I'd like to do is, if someone has an idea for some scripted content, I'm the one who can put that together for you. I got my MFA in it. So I would like to ghostwrite for people. I do ghostwrite for people.
Oh, you
I've
do
written
ghost, right?
I do. I've written a script
All
that's
right.
being shopped around right now. So,
That's
and I
good.
want more and more clients, and I want to produce more and more of my own content. So once again, y'all, I'm gonna plug it again, probably a couple more times with 500 terrible dates. And so I
That's
just
good,
use,
man. I'll put all the link there. If you got a
yes,
business or anything.
please.
But it's funny because I never see you don't really talk about it a lot on Instagram, right?
I don't, and
That's
I'll
the
tell you
thing.
why. It's funny because I'm sorry, I gotta turn off my heater real quick.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure, good.
don't really talk about that as much because when I first started with my actual brand, I wasn't even in grad school. I hadn't even self-realized or actualized what it is I want to do with my life. And so
Right.
whenever I would feel down, I would have to motivate myself. So that's what made me begin the True Thursday videos.
I
And
like
because
it.
there's so many other people out here who have different dreams, but they don't really know how to go get it. And so that's why I was
Right.
like, let's go get them. You got to take it what you want in this world because you won't get it otherwise. But I do need, if I had to name one area of opportunity, it would be to promote myself more and more. I do have an Instagram for the actual web series, but I will need to discuss what it is I do more.
Oh, okay. So you don't have actually anything online to talk about it because I try to go on your profile just to because that's what I always do to my guests. I always trying to check the
Yeah,
profile to see what they do. I was
yeah.
like, I think there's must be something about her, but yeah, you haven't really put it out there. So just as advice, next time maybe you need to be a little bit more if you actually want to grow in your business. Just things that you want to share with people. Maybe you don't know, you might get a plug for somewhere. You never know.
Oh no, I sent you the links. I sent you the links. The links of the show
You
are
sending me the
actually on
link?
YouTube. Yeah, remember we talked about 2 months ago about me
Oh
potentially.
yeah, before
Yes,
yeah.
I sent you the links, and you said you would watch them, but oh, it's totally on there. So just to kind of reinstate what it is I said, I could probably do it a little bit more marketing, but it's
Oh
completely out
yeah, I
there.
got it.
Everything.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
So it
So,
totally is on there. Yeah.
so how you doing with all, the things going on right now? So how are you like? How you dealing with everything?
Oh, I really live in my life to believe that things are what they are. We can't change anything. It's how we adapt to them. So I'm actually doing very well. I was working 2 different jobs, and I lost both of them, because the nature of the beast is we have to stay at home. And so I'm not worried right now about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. It's out of our control.
Are you locked in as well? Like, are you locked down as well? Where
Yep.
you are? How long have you
Yep.
locked
I
down?
am.
How long
You
for?
know, gosh, okay. So it was a little bit delayed where I am. I'm in the Southeast United States. And so we're smaller regions here.
Yeah.
We're not as big as, of course, Los Angeles, California, New York, New York. We're smaller here. So we kind of scattered off or tapered off, I should say, how soon we should be in the home and like shut down. But most recently, the last couple of days, I've been seriously, adhering to what the rules are. So I would say about 4 or 5 days now.
Oh, okay. So
Hmm.
before I go deep, if I go back to actually what you do actually on Instagram, so what actually
Yeah.
make you start doing your Truth Thursday? What was the purpose behind it?
Gosh, it was True Thursday came at a time in my life where I was like, what the hell am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Like I was not feeling fulfilled in work.
Yeah.
I had been out of school for some years. And
Yeah.
so I was like, if I'm feeling this way, I know a whole bunch of other people are feeling this way. So at first, True Thursday videos were just about me getting myself back together to a higher level of consciousness and positivity. And then after a while, people would hit me. They'd be like, hey, your videos have really helped me. I feel better about different things. And, I really appreciate them. So I was like, oh, there's something here. So I've been doing those videos, believe it or not. This will be my 4th year. So I've been doing them every Thursday. I've missed a couple Thursdays because life gets in the way. But so that's the reason why, to motivate and to elevate people, because we have to, we can't look for it from external sources. We have to build it internally so it can come out externally.
Yeah, because you're very consistent, like when you go to your profile every Thursday, you always have something to say, always. Do you have a lot of feedback from people as well?
That's a good question. At first I did, and then it went off, and now it's kind of back again. So it really kind of fluctuates, I guess, with regards to what people are going through in their life. There was a while, like at the end of 2019, it wasn't getting much traffic, but I always make my videos regardless of that fact, because whomever needs to hear it, they're going to find that message. You know what I mean? I don't do it for likes. I don't do it for publicity. And just to circle back with regards to my show, like that's just kind of how I am, even with marketing my show. I know I could be better with it, but I feel like if you're meant to see it, you're gonna find it. You know what I mean? But I will amp that up a little bit, like we were saying. But yeah, I do get a lot of feedback from people saying I needed this message, and sometimes I ask my higher source and to be a vessel and for me to say tell a message that someone needs to hear. And I don't necessarily always know what that message is until Thursday comes, if that makes sense.
All right.
That's how it works.
Okay, if we break down like the dreamer and the believer, if you have to break it down to describe, what do you mean by dreamer and believer? What is
Oh, great question. I feel that due to being an adult in this world, getting caught up in paying bills and meeting the status quo, sometimes we forget what our dreams are. You know what I mean? We forget what that little thing was within us when we were children that we wanted to be, what we were striving for.
Yeah.
And that's why I know that in each one of us, we still have that small dreamer. Now we need to transcend that and become the believer with it. Like we in society, there's always kind of like a finish line. Like once you get to be this age, you need to own a house. This age, you need to have that husband or
Yeah.
wife, or you need to have children. It's always, it's always something that you need. I just want my dreamers and believers to put that aside and listen to what your soul needs. Because at the end of the day, if you don't feed that, it's a wrap. It is completely.
Yeah. Because but the thing is, when you say dream, when you have something in mind, you want it to happen, but if it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen, but it was still part of your dream, right? Is it how you're gonna put it as well?
Say
Like
it one more time.
what I'm saying, right? When you say if somebody have a dream in their mind, like okay,
Hmm.
I want to have a big house, I want to get married, and if things doesn't happen the way you wanted that things to happen, are you gonna class it as a believer as well, or it's just gonna be like, because you're saying you talk about a dream, but people can get confused when it comes to that.
Interesting. I kind of agree with about people getting kind of confused when it comes to that, just because it's your soul's calling. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? It might be a different variation of what you want, but in some capacity, we were all put here to do and accomplish one thing. And it might take us different ways to kind of route ourselves to get to that. It might morph
yeah.
into something else, but it will be actualized. I believe that completely.
But
Now, let's say you go ahead.
you go on, yeah. I got you.
No. I want it. I want it.
Yeah,
Go
what I
ahead.
was saying, right? So, do you have a lot of spirituality on that as well? You know, when you say believe, because a lot of people that believe they use a lot of faith as well in the, you know, the process.
Hmm.
But do you think like is it important to be religious as well if you want to have
Oh,
a
for me, I term myself as spiritual as opposed to religion because I'm not really a proponent of organized religion. To each their own. But for me, I know that without my God, without my source, without that deep rooted knowing that something always has my back, I couldn't make it. There's no way. I mean, I went back to grad school at a time I was years older than the people in my class. A lot of people would have been like, oh, they would have found a way maybe to talk themselves out of it. But I knew that's what I needed to do because God told me. And that in turn kind of was manifested in my meditation. I meditate every single morning.
really?
So I do believe that, oh yeah, I've been blessed to have a strong and consistent meditative practice because in that, when you silence the mind and you get really deep and you get to that innate source of you are as a being, as a person, that's when you begin to hear what that dream is. And that's when you begin to know what those movements and how to maneuver and get to where you need to be. That's the only way you can do it for
Like,
me.
have you learned how to do that, or you just like something that have you learned how to meditate, or it just happened?
Oh, yes, my friend. Just like how I love your videos, how you're working on
Mhm.
different targeted muscles.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's a practice. Meditation is a practice. Times I love to do it. Sometimes it's grueling. I'm like, oh God, can I get there? But like with anything else, it's that consistency and that practice piece. And it's me showing up and doing the work. It's me realizing, some days I want to do it from the bed. And my friend called me out. You got to have an accountability partner. My dearest friend, Jesse, was like, Lynnette, no. If you're committed to your meditative practice, you got to sit up, you got to be present, you got to honor yourself and love yourself enough to give yourself that time.
Yeah.
So it's definitely something you work on daily, completely.
All right, so how long does it take you to meditate? Like to meditate, yeah, like during the meditation, how long does it take you? Yeah.
It's interesting. I began simply with 5 minutes
All right.
because it is really hard to kind of get still and get quiet. Then from 5 minutes, it went to 10. Then from 10, it went to 15. Then it went to 20. And then I did that 20-minute meditation every single day for the 2 years I was in grad school. I
Wow.
was so proud of myself. But then life happened. And then I didn't begin to honor and cherish the temple the way that I should. And I began to fall off, fall off, fall off. And I would meditate once every 3 days, once every 10 days, and then meditate 2 days in a row, then fall off the next 8. And then I began to realize I was cheating myself. So I began to reinstate my meditative practice. And so now that I've moved to another location, another environment, I'm into, I think, 36 days of meditation, and it's beautiful. It's difficult, not difficult. I don't want to use that word. It's a challenge at times, but it's well worth it.
But does it help you as well? Like, how does he? I know it's nice here to make you feel good, but do you think there's a lot of things that today you are able to do because you start meditating? That
Oh,
it is?
oh my gosh. Yes, my friend, completely. Because like, let's say when you're acting and you're on a set, a lot of people just kind of think that like, if you're my scene partner, right? They
Right.
think that I'm just talking to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I am, but there's 10 other people watching you. Like there's the sound man, there's the boom, there's the camera, there's the lights, there's the first AD, second AD, the director, there's all these different people. And then I wrote the stuff that I'm in. So
Yeah.
I'm also thinking about how I want it to come out too as the showrunner, because I'm the showrunner and I'm acting in it.
That's right.
So if I didn't have meditation to snap and get myself very calm and centered on my breathing, I wouldn't be able to do it because the breath is the key to it. Even if you meditate for 2 minutes a day for right now, the breath is your connection to God. That's what Jan Van Zant calls it. And so whenever you just get stillness in that breath, that's your support. And because I don't want to get on here and espouse my theological beliefs to anyone, because I believe you can believe in whatever you want. But I
Yeah.
will say this, that if you do get some stillness and just depend on your breath, that's what will get you through.
No, that's good. That's good, man. Because there's a lot of people I've realized today. There's a lot of people they are empty. I always say to people when I talk to my friend, I always say like, in today's society, if you want to survive, there's a lot of things you have to do. If people choose, some people smoke, some people they do drug, some people they're into fitness, some people they're into sport or whatever, music but you have to be into something if you want to survive because you have to connect your mind, your soul into something as well. But if you don't choose that thing wisely, it might destroy you as well. So a lot of people told me about, meditation as well. So I don't know if it's related to yoga as well, or it's just something else. Is it related to both?
Hmm. I would say it shares a commonality with yoga with regards to just the importance of the breath. But for
Right.
me, meditative space is where I go for every single answer that I need, because a lot of times I would mess up is I would always ask people for advice, and people love you and they will help you.
Yeah.
But everything that you need is innately in you. It is grounded and rooted in you. So what I do is that just to, and stop me if this gets boring, but I'll be happy to go through my process because I love it. But what I do is I
Yeah,
use the
sure.
Calm app. And it has some ambient noise. And then what I do is I thank my provider, my source, for allowing me to see another day, because a lot of people can't say that. And then I just begin with the breath. And sure, thoughts are going to come. You know what I mean? You're going to think about, oh, what am I going to do later on today, whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. But the beauty of it is reconnecting to the breath and allowing that thought to come and go, and then get back to breathing. And then once you get to a kind of state of calm, that's when you can ask questions. That's when you can um, kind of delve into what's bothering you. And that's where you can come to a process to getting to where you need to be, to give you that calmness of mind and to give you that assurance.
Yeah, I like it. I like it because, but what do you think it can help somebody who deal with anxiety as well? Because we live in a time where a lot of people living with depression, people are feeling lonely, and social media is actually affecting a lot of people as well. Do you think being able to have that lifestyle of meditation can help somebody to deal with anxiety as well?
155,000% complete.
Uh,
Because what it is, because when you sent me the topic, I went ahead and did some due diligence and I wrote down the definition of anxiety, because so many people are using it, and in fear of it becoming a
correct.
buzzword colloquialism, I wanted to make sure you and I were on the same page. So let me know if you rock with this definition. But I put anxiety, or what I found rather, is anxiety is a feeling of worry, unease, typically about an imminent event or
Yeah.
something with an uncertain outcome. Do you like that definition?
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. I like it because I'm getting confused because now so many people use it as an excuse for many things because it's not because it's a thread and somebody just feel lonely or anything happened to your life. People just want to use it as for people actually to feel sorry for you. So that's why I get confused sometimes, every
Me
time.
too.
It's like people don't want to fight it. That's what I realized. Today's society, people don't want to fight anxiety. People want to embrace it and to identify themselves as somebody who suffer from it. So people can kind of feel sorry for you. That's how I see a lot. You see less people trying to fight it. People claim it so they can't have that feeling from other people of, like, oh, I feel sorry for you. You got this. I gotta be careful. That's how I believe. I mean, that's what I see actually. I don't know if you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. To echo the point, like, because I got confused myself. And so I like to be informed before I speak on something. But apparently, it has become somewhat of a buzzword. And I say this because I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing or judging anyone who has been clinically diagnosed with psychiatric anxiety, which is a different
Yeah.
um, disorder, because there are some people who are so in the grips of these nervous feelings that it does inhibit their interpersonal relationships and their ability to work or to live life day to day. So I just want to be clear with those two different distinctions. One, I feel like is more of a buzzword, and one, is a clinical
Which one
diagnosis.
is the first one?
The first one was the definition that I read to you,
Oh
a
yeah.
feeling worry. Yep. And then there are some people who have been clinically diagnosed as having anxiety disorder. So
Yeah.
those people, God bless them. We're not discussing it. I just want to be clear because I don't want to
No.
offend anyone within the sound of our voice.
Yeah.
But the one that I define is what we're going to talk about. And just with regards to having anxiety, because we all can be anxious. Like, if, my series 500 Terrible Dates, the character is striving to find her ultimate mate. So she's probably anxious before a date.
Yeah.
That's typical, but there's some people who unfortunately are in the grips of it at all times, and meditation can help that, because once again, it's the stillness of the breath. You can tell your body how to react to something. That's
Yeah.
how powerful I believe we are. I mean, and I've seen you work out. You know what I'm saying? You know what the body can do. You know what the mind and the soul can do. It's all
Yeah.
intertwined. It's all intertwined. And so I think that utilizing a moment in time to reset all these negative thoughts that come into your mind can definitely be accomplished with meditation
But do you think
completely.
like talking to people as well help? Because I know a lot of people going through this kind of thing. Do you think just the fact you talk to somebody, do you think it might help as well? Or
Yes and no. Yes and no, because it
really?
really kind of depends on who you talk to.
Oh yeah, true.
Because there are some people, think about it, there's some people who are battling things that they don't necessarily want to tell you. And
Yeah,
so when they're giving you quote unquote advice, it's coming from that place of where they are. Whereas if you go deep and go to yourself to ask those questions, that's it, baby. I mean, you don't have to go much further than that,
yeah, for real.
because you have to, the good book says, you know, lean not on thine own understanding. You gotta, sometimes you gotta get quiet, and you can't listen to what mama says or what boyfriend says or girlfriend says or partner or spouse or whatever. You got to know within yourself. And that comes from what we've discussed in our first text thread a couple of months ago. It's that self-love component. You've got, you know, person, once they learn to love and trust themselves, then they can trust their own advice to themselves, is my
How
opinion.
do you how do you describe as self-love?
Oh man, self-love is, I, I smile when I think about it, because self-love is crucially important. That is holding yourself down like no other person could. That's loving yourself when your hair doesn't look so good. I was I was laughing at some of my Instagram pictures. Something, my hair sometimes, you know, if I'm stressed, it shows through my hair. So sometimes my hair looks good, sometimes it
Yeah.
doesn't. But guess what? I love myself through it all. I love myself when I do doofy things. Like I went out with somebody not too long ago, and I was so engrossed in the conversation, and my whole necklace got into my clam chowder. And me and my friend, we laughed. We couldn't take it. But the old Lynnette, before I began to do work on myself, I would have been mortified. I would have been kicking myself, would have been beating myself. I'm so doofy. It's embracing all those things that you let people see and then you sometimes don't let people see, and knowing that you are worthy of everything, because there's no other person like you, and that is,
Yeah, that's very important.
yeah.
That's I always say to people like to become the better version of yourself, you have to become your better version of yourself because you cannot try to be somebody else because you are not the same person. You know, no matter how much you try, you can only be the better person of who you are. I think you have to focus everything on yourself. There's less people actually who love themselves. They just hate who they are because they don't like the way they look. Yeah. So the main subject today was about things going on right now with
Yeah.
coronavirus. How do you do to actually not get affected by what is happening right now? Because I have a lot of friends, when I go on social media, on Facebook, everybody, like people are dying, people are talking about it, people are losing their job. There is a lot of pressure. People don't know what to do anymore. So how do
Right.
you to actually cope with things that is happening right now?
Yeah, yes, totally. I wrote down some notes, so I'm going to be looking down and
Yeah, sure, man.
referencing them.
You're my guest. You can say, take your time. You can do whatever you want to say. That's it.
Well, blessings, blessings. Thank you. Well, I started off with kind of what you mentioned just now, with a lot of your friends and a lot of people on
Yeah,
social media going through. They're going through fear. And I wanted to give you kind of a cool definition of fear that I found from the Queen, Jan La Van Zant, you know, from Fix My Life and all that. But she said, fear, if broken down into an acronym, it is false evidence appearing real. So false evidence appearing real. Like a lot of people are fearing things that have not even happened because they don't know the unknown. And I understand that that is a very uncomfortable and scary place to be, but that is out of our control. And I think a way to combat that is acknowledgement. What is the causing of these feelings? Like, why are people in such a panic? And I can give three factors just off the top of my head. They don't really know all the details about this disease, because it seems like to me the virus changes from day to day, and then we have these self-proclaimed medical doctors
oh
who
yeah,
are
for real. I get
oh
tired to
my
watch
god.
people online. Trust me, people like take some DJ, take like like what are you gonna get honey and some I don't know a lot of stuff, man. Like I don't know. I just tell myself I need to slow down because I don't even know what I'm drinking right now.
Right, right. And that's driving the fear. Like, so acknowledge what the cause, that's a cause, the unknown. Number two, a lot of people are feeling helpless in this. They're feeling like, what can I do? What can I do? But baby, the answer is nothing. You can't do anything. You have to let this thing run its course. So once you acknowledge what's the cause or the root of those, um, then you have to kind of realize what you can do, in my opinion, to help this situation. And you
Yeah,
said something key. You were like, you're not too sure what to drink, so you're just going to kind of do you. So one thing we know about this virus, though a lot of different people have these different takes on it, we know that it's an upper respiratory infection. So the respiratory system is supported by a strong immune system. So, that would logically lead you to think maybe I could beef up my immune system. So take some more vitamin C.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're hydrated. I got my water with lime right
Water all the
here.
time. Yeah. I got my water too,
Right.
man.
There we go. I know.
I see.
We do.
Oh, yeah,
Great minds, great minds think alike. Right. You've got to hydrate.
all
You've
the
got
time.
to, yes, of course. And like the brother that you had on your last episode, he was talking about eating a bunch of kale.
Oh, yeah.
Leafy greens. So, people should find comfort in the things that you can change. You can change what you put in your body. This isn't a time, I'm just going to say it, people might hate me, but this isn't a time to be eating pizzas. It's not a time to be eating burgers.
Yeah.
French fries. I mean, those are cheap foods. They're amazing. I do them sporadically, but now is the time. You're so concerned. This is what you can do to lessen the concern. Beef up that immune system. Take care of yourself. Get the rest. Drink hot liquids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's part of my step two. What knowledge, can of everything can help you kind of feel better about it. And then my last step of what you can really work on is realizing outside of number 1 and 2, acknowledgement of what's causing the fear, knowledge of the cause of the feelings and all that, is realizing that you cannot, be worried about this because it's out of your control. We don't know how long we're going to be locked down. It could be another 4 weeks, it could be 8, it could be 12. But regardless of whatever the length of time is, what we do know is we can take care of ourselves. We can respect our loved ones and the other people by doing the social distancing.
Yeah.
We can, and then I have a list of things that I'm going to go into next, of some tactics of things that we can do while we're at home. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think would be a good place to start off. Like, what do you think of those?
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely agree with what you're saying, actually. In terms of like, you have to, things that you don't control, you cannot do anything about it. So things that you can control, that's why you have to focus on. Like when you talk about building your immune system, the funny thing about it, when we talk about like, on my Instagram, I always talk about eat healthy, things like that. But for some people, it doesn't make any sense. But now it makes a lot of sense, because if that's your lifestyle, you always eat well. We eat well why? Because we want to keep our body healthy. And now they want everybody to kind of be healthy and fit. So it shouldn't be even a problem for everybody, because what we're buying right now to try to build ourselves, it should be just the way we live anyway. So I hope after all this drama, people are going to learn more about nutrition and how important it is to eat certain food like fruits, vegetable, even if you eat magnet or whatever, but you have to make sure the good food have to be higher than those, takeaway that you always take. I got some apple here on my table.
Yeah, see, exactly. And that's another thing you brought up. I'm glad you said that. Thank you for that. You brought up another good point. How everybody is stressing that we should be living right now is how you've lived your life. And that's why I follow you, because a lot of people don't know, though I'm no longer a personal trainer. I used to be, but I've still loved fitness. I've been into fitness since my early 20s until present day. I love it. And so I don't, I'm not one of those people who's like vegetarian or veganism or death. I'm not that, but I don't eat a lot of animal byproduct. And I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily. You know what I mean? I have
I'm trying to decrease my animal intake as well, my meat intake. But just I love meat, but I'm trying to decrease.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything in moderation, friend. But to your point, like everything that you've been, positing on your Instagram, and the way that I have been fortunate enough to live is that, people have always told me, oh, it's kind of weird, to eat this and eat that. But now it reduces my worry, because I'm not concerned. I don't do a lot of dairy, so I don't have inflammation in the body. I follow an anti-inflammatory diet. You know what I mean? So maybe one of the great gifts from this would be that people learn how to eat better and take care of themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's one of the, if somebody listening to me right now, if you are worried about everything going right now, so if you don't know where to put your mind, I think this is one of the most important things that we have to ask ourselves, what can I remember from this? What can I actually, this situation, right? So we talk about like loving yourself, of course, if you love yourself, you have to treat yourself well, not just the outside, the inside as well, when it comes to food, nutrition as well. So people can understand more about food and what they put in the body. While when we say stay healthy, it's not just because we want you to look skinny. It's not that. You don't have to train, but when you eat healthy, it make you feel stronger, and it help your immune system. That's why it keep you healthy. And the other thing as well I've been noticed, when we have I think, I don't know if Trump spoke about it, but here all the political leader, they lock down the country. They say the only thing you guys are allowed to do is to go out to buy food. Food is the most important things, and to go to the hospital, anything related to hospital, and also to exercise. So they
Mm.
haven't say you have to go out to have your smoke or to do something or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go out to exercise, like do whatever you do
Mm-hmm.
to exercise. So this is just to show people how much exercise is very important. To do exercise, you don't have to be like a crazy fitness guy with a lot of muscle. No, you can just like run half an hour every day. That's exercise, or just a long walk. That's exercise. So I hope people actually gonna remember from actually what we're actually living right now, and also I hope people gonna remember life, what is worth in life, because right now I'm locked here for 3 weeks. You stand on TV, so I'm just gonna stay in the house for like 3 weeks. So you can
Oof.
imagine you have a big car, you have all this Louis Vuitton bag, everything. You go to Dubai all the time to travel, but today all those things doesn't make any sense at all.
Hmm.
What makes sense is your health, and is your family, the people that you love. You don't want to get a virus because you don't want to hurt yourself or die, or you don't want your grandma to die or anybody close to you, people that you love. Because now in
Hmm.
people's mind, that's what we're thinking about it right now. We don't thinking about how much money I got in the bank. I have some cash with me here. I haven't used it for time because I don't even have time to use money, because I cannot even use. I'm not even allowed to go outside to use the money that I have.
Hmm.
So that's really what crossed my mind. I think people need to realize. I hope after all these things, people way of seeing life gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
Love ourselves a little bit more. We're gonna care about each other a little bit more. We don't want to take life for granted like now, because people are scared. To be honest, they're scared because they don't want to die. Like that's the big point. They're scared of the virus because there's no cure. I mean, if you get it, you got a chance to die. That's the only thing. When the doctor
Mm-hmm.
said they're gonna choose who is like they're gonna keep young people, the old people. If they have to choose, they're gonna let them die. So it's like it's kind of scary things actually to
Mm-hmm.
about what I just say, but this is my way of saying things.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that was beautiful. And what you made me think of was that this is all about perspective. That's another key component,
Yeah,
perspective.
I like it.
Like, yeah, totally. Because and that leads me to kind of like this next part of tactics of things you can do to get your mind off this situation. But
Yeah,
like, because we are, like you said, like it's not that bad where I am presently, because you were saying you have to be in your house for the next 3 weeks. Like you could
yeah.
just go to the
I just
grocery
found on
store.
TV today. That's what they just tell.
Yeah, exactly. And where I am in the southeastern United States, we're still allowed to go places, but it's probably going to get to that point. But it's all about perspective. And that's what I put on my True Thursday video last week. I was like, hey, you know what? We have to be home, but let's make the best of it. And I wrote down a couple things that you can do, some fun little tactics, I think. And I think that that'll help keep people's mind off of it. Like, number one is face that challenge. There is something that each one of us probably know they need to do. Like me, I need to do my taxes. It's I know the deadline has been extended, but I need to do my income taxes. I need to do that.
Right.
So I got all the paperwork together, because guess what? I have nothing but time, space, and opportunity. So, and also, and just to share a little personal thing about me, I had been frustrating a little bit with my writing, because I'd written a script and the whole process didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I learned a lot from it. But it caused me to take a little hiatus from writing. Because I don't believe in pushing myself to do anything in this life. Though I've been given the gift to write and to develop characters, I wasn't feeling it. But the other day, it came on like the light switch, and I just decided to start writing again. So it's like, for me, it was a challenge to get back into writing, because though you love something, like you love fitness, I know for a fact
Yeah.
because I see it on your Instagram, but every single day, do you honestly truly feel like going to the gym?
Yeah, always, man. Like now, I'm training at home right now. That's what I'm doing.
I
I just
know,
need to find a way to, you know.
right? But there's some times where you really have to put yourself mentally over that edge to get it done. Am I right?
No matter what. Yes, for sure.
Right, exactly. So that's where I am, kind of like with resetting myself, taking that challenge. And then another thing that can help people who do suffer from anxiety, especially related to the coronavirus, is living in gratitude. There are some people who are dead right now. There are some
Yeah,
people who are sequestered in their homes and they don't have any family. You know what I mean? I'm fortunate enough to be with family right now. You know, you're fortunate enough to be in a shelter right now, having your
Yes,
podcast, you know, and you have an amazing following of amazing people that we're helping. We don't know who's helping,
for
who's
real.
being from this conversation. So we got to live in gratitude. Totally. And then also, this might be time for people who do live with their family, you know, their significant others or siblings or whomever, to mend some relationships. A
Yeah.
lot of families are going through different things. You know, it's not always perfect. A
Yeah,
lot
for
of
real.
people, yeah, a lot of people used to having their kids at school, and now their kids up under them 24 hours a day.
You got kids every day at home there.
Yes, exactly. And I'm so grateful. Speaking of gratitude, that's not
I
me.
heard there's a lot of people as well breaking up because, you know, like people are forced to be
Yes.
together for so long. It's just crazy.
So
Is it like
once
an early
again,
retirement, man? We just here at home. We just see each other every day, you know, even like allowed to go out. Like, yeah, I think you have to see the positive side of it. Like now, to be honest with
mm,
you, since the country been locked down, to be honest with you, I've done a lot, about 5 podcasts. I really always wanted to do the podcast with people, but the thing is, I never have time because I work in the gym, I do all these things as well. I never have time to really sit down and actually record something with people. People always busy. I'm always busy myself as well. So for me, this moment is like I'm just trying to find the positive, you know, side of it. Like be in touch with like you or many people today, and I know for a fact they have time, they have nothing to do, everybody just home right now, people are worried. So me using this time to talk to people, to share something, we share information and we're helping other people as well. At the same time, I'm building the network that I have, and of course I'm helping you guys as well to have your brand, you know, heard from other people as well. So, and what I'd say to people, I don't know how people get bored at home, you know, at this time. There's a lot of things you can do if you get a family. Have to look after your family, talk to your kids, play with them, or go online. There's a lot of training you can do. You can write. I mean, there's so much things you have to do. I think people just don't have the right information. They're too focused on the media. So that's how I see. So how are you doing like to overcome the media pressure because it's everywhere? You might be positive,
right.
you might be positive, but people around you, they can bring the negativity in you. How do you do to like keep like, you know, to turn it down?
Oh, you are just right on time because that leads me to my second page. I believe in doing two different things. I believe in separation. People like I'm happy go lucky and I love life, but I don't play when it comes to me because my self love won't allow me to. So if people are negative, I cut them off. Like I had a dear friend, I mean, a really sweet girl, but she was a worry wart. And I don't make a practice of worrying about things
Yeah.
because, like I stated in this conversation earlier, if I can't control it, I got to kind of let it go. You know, I got to let things flow. But she would be like, well, what if this happens? Da, 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 da. And it was making me go like this. So I was like, oh, no, 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 no. We're going to have to, we're going to have to do some little bit of a separation right now. So I believe in alleviating those influences that you know can trigger certain feelings in you. And once again, you only know that from getting to know yourself and doing the work and to realize how your individual self-love is set up. And then number two, the most cancerous thing, the media. I stopped watching the news, has to be maybe about 10 years ago. So I am abreast of different current events, but I don't ever have a talking head going on a TV screen or something like that. I only watch clips because you do need to be informed. But
Yeah.
the more and more, because people are talking about this coronavirus on the hour, every minute, every second, every nanosecond. And that's what's inciting the fear, the false evidence appearing real. None of the people are dying, and God bless them. I really do want to say that. I'm not undermining that.
Yeah.
But at this point, though, it's becoming a little bit sensationalized, and we're on the verge of mass hysteria. So the way that I block that out is I will listen to one pertinent news source that I choose, and I see what's kind of going on, and then I move on. You can't dwell, you can't sit in it, you can't let it stay on your TV all day. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Yeah, so you heard the advice. Make sure you actually choose whatever you want to watch, but don't spend all day watching things about coronavirus. Actually, don't want to affect your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because it happened to me as
Yes.
well. Because I think it was about a week ago. I wasn't right in my mind because I was like all the time they were talking about it all the time, all the time. You just don't feel safe anymore. I went outside the other day.
Mm-mm.
People, we look like zombies now. People are scared of each other right now on the street. Like, you see somebody like
Mm.
just, you know, even when you sneeze, people don't even say bless you anymore. People just like,
Mm.
oh. why did you cough? Why are you sneezing? You know,
Right.
actually kind of scared of each other right now. So it's very, I know there's a lot of people having depression right now because they live on their own. They cannot even see the parent because they are scared for the parent. And yeah, it's just crazy. Like it's crazy. So do you ever have to unfriend people on Facebook or on social media just because, not because they say bad thing to you, but because they have a negative energy? Do you actually
Hmm.
care about it as well?
Oh yeah, because I remember when you and I first kind of even linked up. I know you have a Facebook group that you do with your fitness,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yes, and I told you I couldn't join because I stopped doing Facebook in I think it was either the end of 2018 or 17. I don't remember which date, but I couldn't do it because I know what triggers me after having known myself and taken the time. And too much negativity because I have I don't know, I feel energies a lot. I can't take it. And like if people post on their Instagram, because I am active on Instagram, if they post different things that are like just not aligned with my mission and my feng shui and my energy, I'll mute their page. You know, I'll still send them love if I know them personally. But if it's a celebrity or someone I've never known, who 9 times out of 10 don't follow me back,
Yeah.
unfollow, block, whatever. Because I believe you have to protect your energy at all costs.
Yeah. How do you protect your energy? By doing so, right? By, yeah, being
By
careful
blocking,
around you.
right, by blocking things that, you know, that don't serve you. And you'll know if you're in tune with yourself, which I found in meditation, what serves you and what doesn't. You know what I mean? And so just removing those stressors from your life.
But are you like, when it comes to free speech, do you think like you do you use the same energy, like, you know, being able to just say things the way you want to say, or do you
Mm.
actually, I mean, it's easy for you because I think your speech is more into the positive way. You know, everything you say is kind of positive, so it doesn't really hurt anybody.
Mm.
But like, do you think you have that fear as well to say certain things that you think is gonna kind of shock other people?
Hmm. Oh, that's an awesome question. Very good question. At
Or
times, yes, I do. Yeah, you're welcome. At times, yes, I do, because I'm very cognizant of the people that follow me. Like one of my homegirls from like middle school, her daughter loves my videos. So that's why I don't use profane language in my videos. Because you don't know how far reaching what you say gets to people. And also, I am a Black American woman who loves being a Black American woman.
yeah,
And I speak on the racial, yes, there we go. You already know. I have very strong opinions on the racial injustice of this country. At the same time, I love my country.
yeah,
And so, for me, it comes to branding. I don't want to alienate anyone on my page, but also I'm not going to lie about what the truth of this country is and what it's like to be Black in this country.
yeah,
So it's a very fine line. And it's so funny, my best friend that I referenced earlier, because in me, there is an inner activist. And so he was like, well, this was at the time when I thought I was going to be a great Hollywood actress, which we can talk about that in a second. But I've since I've kind of gotten away from that, deterred from that. And so he was like, well, you can't be both. He's like, you can't be an activist and be an actor in Hollywood, because Hollywood is the fakest industry, and you cannot say sometimes what's on your mind. And so he really was right with that. And so I am cognizant about what I say.
But do you think a lot of pressure when it comes to race? Because I know, like us Black people, sometimes there's a lot of discrimination going on. I live in
Hmm.
India. I don't know, in America, based on what we see on TV, I know there's a lot
Yeah.
of going on. So how do you? Does it ever come across to you like you feel some type of way, or you always able to overcome it or to deal with it?
Oh yeah, I have to. Like I think it's a grave disservice to a lot of younger Black Americans whose parents haven't taught them reality of what it's like to be Black in America. I'm blessed because my mother did. She told me from the beginning. She was like, "Don't get it messed up. You're
Yeah,
gonna have to work harder. You're gonna have to be smarter. You're gonna have to talk clearer. You're gonna have to be faster. You're gonna have to be this. You're gonna have to be that." And I used to, wow, I got emotional a little bit. I used to get a little bit bothered by how people interpret my Blackness before I loved myself. Now I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to let you disrespect me. There's just no ways, ifs, ands, or buts about it. So to answer your question, yeah, it's something that you feel every single day, because when people look at you before you even say anything, as you can see, I'm a very upbeat person. Before you say anything, people have already judged you and what you look like. And then it's up to me to set it straight. and I'm gonna let you know. Yeah,
I
nah.
think that's the part. Many people don't do that. Many people don't actually let other people know because I realize I mean, you have to let people know how you feel, and if they say something against you, whatever, you have to let them know. That
Yep.
makes you stronger. But if you just take everything, that's when you give them the power to, to be over you. That's what I
Com-
believe.
completely. Because my best friend Jesse, I've mentioned him, so I'll say his name, but he would be like, I would tell him different situations, and he'd be like, "Don't be sad." He said, "Because that's your fault. You should have let her know that she disrespected you." And I was like, he was 100% right, because people only treat you the way you teach them to. They only do what you allow, and people are gonna think you're this, that, the third, because of the prejudicial, systemic racism that this country was built upon. So you might as well go ahead and check them anyway. And so certain situations, he won't even hear from me. He was like, "Don't tell me about it because you didn't check it." But because he's been such a great friend, because he's been such a good support system, I know how to attack things better rather than cursing someone out. I'll use my intelligence to let you know, because a lot of people think that when you look the way we do, we're not intelligent. I'm a double degree holder when some people don't have any. So, it's just all about setting the tone. And I don't say that from a place of arrogance. I say that from a place of worth. I know I'm intelligent, so I'm not going to take certain treatment that would dictate otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's when things get a little bit twisted. When you say like you talk certain way, do you think as black people, black myself, do
Mm-hmm.
we have to act because we have our own way to act? Like the way we talk to each other. Do you think like the way society is built up, we have to act certain way to kind of be accepted?
Some of us who don't love ourselves feel that way. This is me. Like the way that I speak, like it's bothered me. People have told me that they think I speak a certain way, but I'm articulate. I'm a Southern woman. I was born and raised in the South. I've lived in other places. This is how I speak. My mother wouldn't allow me to use slang words. I don't speak this way because I assimilate or I strive to be a part of something else. No, I'm 100% Black. I'm pro Black. And that's not anti anybody else, but I love who I am as a Black woman. But
Yeah.
I think that some people have been misguided and misled to believe that they do have to like assimilate and speak a certain way. And I just don't believe in that. I believe in speaking articulately and educatedly because that's who I am.
Or do you have a lot of people coming to you for that?
Who say that I speak a
Like,
certain
we have a
way?
lot of people actually, like a lot of people in our community actually coming to you to say, like, why do you sound this way? Why?
Sometimes, and
Yeah,
I'm just articulate. I don't know how ever else to say, because, and that begs another question. Like, if speaking this way, if you think it's assimilation, then what do you think of yourself initially? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you think that you
yeah.
speak broken English? I don't. So yeah, it is something that I deal with at times, but I don't let it bother me.
That's good actually. That's very good for me. So I like what you do. I like your energy and the things that you do. But how do you see the future? Like, what is one of your biggest goals? Something that you want to achieve? Because I
Yeah,
know like,
totally.
you inspire people a lot. You talk a lot, like all the time. You say good things and
Hmm.
anything that you actually want to achieve, like in terms of.
Yeah. Thank you for asking. Yes, I want to begin to put everything that we've spoken about into writing. I'm working on a couple of books. That's what I'm doing in my coronavirus time.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's
working on
good.
how to, yeah, thank you. I'm working on how to build my brand. I want to reach more and more people, the people who need to hear it, the people who need to know that they're worthy, the people who need to know that you don't have to be like everybody else. You don't have to meet the status quo. One of my dear good friends, he's followed me. We used to work together at a restaurant years ago. He watches all my videos. He's like, "Lynnette, please just do a talk show." And I was like, oh gosh, the
No,
things
for
that
real,
people see.
you're good at it.
Oh, thank
That's the
you.
reason why I
Thank
really
you.
wanted to have a podcast here because you're talkative. You not just talk to talk. Some people they just talk because they like talking, but you are confident when you talk and you know what you're talking about, and then people actually do listen to you. That's the reason I'm here. Otherwise, I can only see picture on Instagram. But if I actually be in touch with you today, it's based on your content. So it's
Yeah, well, thank
follow that
you.
somebody might have is like same people they watch you, but they never say anything. That's what I realized.
Mm,
So the people that actually really follow you and like what you do, those people, most of the time, they're not gonna tell you like they do watch you, but you change a lot of things in their life. And when you disappear, that's when they're actually trying to get in touch with you. Like, oh, I haven't seen you posting videos. What happened? Like I miss your video. So
mm.
That's why whatever you do, just do it because you love it. But
Mm,
don't try to always wait for any feedback from people, whatever. But just put in your mind like someone somewhere is actually listening to what you're saying, and your message actually matter. Because I'm in England today, so you in America, we are talking today. Is this crazy?
right,
I don't know you in real life. I never like it just things just happen, because of
right.
content. And maybe you like my post because of what I post, and that's what I can say today.
Well, thank you for that. And I appreciate it. And I will
Yeah.
take that and build more and more into my brand. But thank you for that. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
So you
Appreciate
say
it.
your friend told you like to do this talk show? That's what you say?
hmm Yeah, he was telling me to do a talk show. And so right now I'm going to take this time to really go back and build my brand, because you get so caught up in the hustle and bustle, so caught
Yeah.
up in needing to pay this bill, so caught up in needing to do this. Like, I literally have dedicated the last 7 years to this writing thing, trying to get clients, trying to do the writing and acting thing. That's what I was primarily doing, the acting thing. And so now I'm at a point of rebirth, of like, where do I want my brand to go? Because I'm in control of it. So that's where I am right now. So the future for me looks bright. It looks like building upon the gifts that God gave me and
Yeah.
helping and using them to be of service to others. Because that's why I like to do what I do. Because I really do like helping people. Because everybody is worthy and everybody can do what it is they want to do. They just got to know it. They got to know it first. So,
Yeah, it's funny because that's the question I was going to ask you, because I think we're in the same mindset. Do you believe like we were born for a purpose, of course, right? So how do you find your purpose? How do you find that thing like you were
yeah.
gifted with? How do you actually discover that?
Mm. Oh, that is a good question, my friend. That is really good. I'm gonna think about it for a second. For me, for me, well, I want to answer it in two ways. I don't want to put
Yeah.
myself in it at first. The first way that I would advise someone who's just feeling like clueless and doesn't know where to turn is to, they might roll their eyes when they hear this, but you got to meditate and you got to get quiet and you need to know what feeds your soul. And in order to do that, you got to know yourself inside, outside, right, left, diagonal, horizontal, forwards, and backwards. You got to know everything about yourself, the little minutia to the biggest thing. And then, secondly, to that, you have to realize, well, I would advise one to realize what impact they want to leave on this earth. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to help other people who with a gift that you naturally have, like your fitness? Like, seriously, like some days I'll be like, I'm good, I'm not gonna, and I really will see one of your posts. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna work out, and I'll see one of your posts with you and your friends, and you all love this. It radiates off you all.
Yeah.
And your post of motivation, of helping people realize that self-love comes from what you put, how you treat your own body, this vessel that you were gifted. Because a lot of people don't have this gift. A lot of people are dead and gone, especially in these times. We should realize that.
Yeah.
But you will motivate me to take my behind to the gym. And I love to
Yeah.
work out, but some days, it's hard. So
Yeah.
you're using your God-given talent based on what it is that makes your soul sing. And you're in turn helping other people. So that is how I would encourage or urge people, pardon me, to find their soul's purpose. And then the second part, and a lot of people don't want to talk about this for whatever reason, but you have to figure out how to monetize this purpose. And
Yes.
people make it seem like money is just so
Amen.
right. You got to eat.
Yeah.
Because you can't be of no service to me building me a program if I give you a hug. Now you like, nah, Lynnette, I need you to hit that Cash App. I need you to hit that PayPal. I need you to hit those dividends. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
how can you monetize what it is that you love?
That's a
And
big topic, I think we should talk about it part two. How do
I
you
agree.
what you love? Because most of the time we do things because it's a hobby and we do it, we love it, but it starts taking a lot of our time. And if it doesn't make money, you're gonna have to find another job. You're gonna get money from another job, but you won't have time to do what you love. It's because what you love doesn't produce you no money. So
Right?
that's the thing. So how do you switch to that?
Oh gosh. Well, my industry as a writer is one of the hard, anything in the entertainment industry in the United States. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's a challenge. It can be done, but I've had to work 2 and 3 different jobs just to do what it is that I love, and that's the key too. Let me just say this really quickly. You have to love it because you're going to have to do some innate sacrifice in order to be able to do it. So that's another way that someone can find their passion, their soul's passion. But I think monetizing it, like I was in a situation recently, I wrote a script for a dear good friend and I did it completely for free. And I'm glad that I did it because it taught me so many lessons. And if she hears this, I love her. We talked about this extensively, but never again. I do. I think oftentimes the fallacy and or mistake that I make in myself is that I do not, because it comes to me so easily, I do not maybe place as much value on my work as I should, because I
Yeah.
take it for granted that everybody can write a 30-page script in 2 or 3 days, which I've done before, a 30 to 40-page script, but that's not the case. So monetizing your passion is a matter of life or death. And it's also, it comes down to your self-worth. If you think that you're worthy enough to get the rate that you're asking for. Because when I used to train, it was $75 to $100 an hour, easy. Because I used to be about that. Like the ladies over here wanted the physique that God naturally gave me, like the small waist. I'm not gonna describe my physique. I'm not, because I don't want it to go that way. But you know what I'm saying. But I believed in getting that money because that's what they wanted. So it's all about the self-worth and realizing that you are worthy of it. You're worthy of it. And if you don't think that you're worthy of it, then you shouldn't quite do it quite for money yet.
Yeah. As I always say, if you know your worth, you know how to sell yourself. Yeah, that's the thing.
Got it. That's 100.
You won't sell nothing because your value, you have no value. Yeah, I think, but the thing is, most of the sometimes we do know our value, but we just have that fear of people opinion, people eyes on us. That's why I think a lot of people have that problem. You just kind of scared is that, oh, you know what, I'm good, but the thing is, nah, this is not for me, or people might start saying something, because I used to have a lot of project to do, and the only problem I used to have, I used to hide myself by using others. It's like today I have a project to do. I'm like, you know what, I want to do like open a brand or whatever business I want to do. I'm always gonna try to find somebody to do that with me. But what I realize is sometimes you don't, the person that you want, that the person that you want to work with, he doesn't have the same drive as you. Sometimes I have a lot of drive, but he's slowing me down because we're not on the same page. But I want him to be around because I'm using him to cover my fears. That's what I realize a lot. So
Ooh.
it's like a lot of how can I say, courage and self this like how can I say, self, not just self-love, but like you have to know yourself. You have to be strong enough to be able to walk on your own, to take that step and then to believe in yourself. I mean, you have to believe in yourself first to be able to stand and to build something from scratch on your own without anybody help. If you happen to have somebody, that's good, but you don't have to build something by having a thought of having somebody next to you. So that's the problem I used to have before, like I think a lot of people have that problem. They know the worth, but they still have that fear and they feel secure when they have somebody actually to walk with them.
You just took me to church there. I got chills because that's completely right. That is completely right. And if I could share just a personal story about that, before I left Atlanta, because I've left Atlanta recently, I was looking for everybody to help put me on because I wrote some scripts. I wanted people to write them. I was like, hey, can you show me how to get these connects? And it was no, 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 no. And then something came to me. Why are you waiting for someone else to put you on when you know you got it? You
Yeah.
got to go for it 150%. And what you just said was that was like you just solved one of the mysteries of life, because a lot of people do get stuck there waiting for someone else, and you can't,
Yeah.
especially in the times that we're in. Like United States is in a recession right now because of the coronavirus, and also we're just constantly recessed economy, but now it's getting even worse. And so now people are really learning that you've got to depend on yourself. You can't
Yes.
wait for anybody else. You can't.
Especially when it comes to, I know the thing is about the coronavirus that you can't remember, especially when it comes to business and being able to be self-made or to do something on your own. And this time, that's when you realize your life and everything is not in your hands. The only thing you have in control, I don't even know if you have something in control, because even your own health, you don't have in control. Even going outside, you cannot have control of it. Your job, you don't have control because the government have to decide if they want to shut down. And even your boss would say, you know what, we don't have enough money, enough budget to keep you going. So they can't say today you are sacked. So this is the kind of moment that actually make us realize sometimes if we are talented, business is not for everybody, but if you are talented, if you get something, you shouldn't use that fear of just because you feel secure because you work somewhere, because that job
Mm.
looks secure. Something like today might happen. And never in your life, you could never imagine, like if somebody said to you like a few months ago, like, I guess what, the whole country gonna shut down, all airport, people gonna stop working, people around the world are gonna be locked down for 3 weeks inside the house. You be like, get it, like, just stop. It's not gonna happen. So this is the kind of thing that we need to think about it today when we go back, when life goes to normal. If you have a project, if you want to have to do something, you gotta put the fears on the side and just believe in yourself and just work hard and whatever you want to achieve. That's how I see it. And I hope somebody out there might actually listen to it, might help somebody. I don't know what you think about it.
I think you said nothing but the truth. One things that has really helped me in life is that I find people who inspire me, because in order for me to inspire others, I have to be inspired by other people, not just internal, but externally. But one of the people I follow is a relationship and life coach. His name is Tony Gaskins, and he's always encouraging all of us to create something we cannot be fired from or sacked from, as you said. And that takes all the courage in the world, because these times have shown us nothing less. Because some people will not be able to go back to jobs in like 8 weeks because there's no job to go back to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
agree with you completely with what you're saying, but you've got to know wholeheartedly, you know what I mean, that you are it. And one thing I struggle with that knowledge is that also I do not like seeming arrogant. You know what I mean? So for me, like, because people, like, when they find out I have a show and they watch it, they're like, you wrote that and you did that? I was like, yeah. I get kind of a little bit shy. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get out of that, because that is the gift that God gave me. Like, because when you see my show, I directed it too. I didn't just star in it, write it, and produce it. I directed it too. And all of those things is something to be proud of, not to be kind of bashful about. So the three things we discuss is secure what you want to do, monetize it, and also believe in yourself
Yeah.
and believe in your ability and be proud of what it is you can do. That's what I think are the three
Yeah.
takeaways I would love people to get from that.
Yeah, that's deep what you just say. It's very, 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 very important. I think it's something that we actually should do. As you say, like when you love something, when you do, you have to make sure it's worth it, and then you have to make money out of it as well. Right. So
100.
yeah, I think that's true. I think we all struggle with things, and I think fears is one of our biggest problem, to be honest with you, because it keep us away from our dream. It stop us to enjoy life. Like now, people are scared of whatever happened today, but they are so scared they're not even thinking about keeping themselves safe or trying to enjoy the moment that they have right now. Everybody just like scared, and people don't know if they got a virus or anything. Is weird, what is happening right
Mm-hmm. Oh, it completely is. And you brought up a point that I would love for people to hear who are listening to this. You've got to live in the moment, because that's all you have. Tomorrow isn't promised to us. Like the next 10 minutes isn't promised to us if we want to be technical about it. You just don't know. All we have right now is this moment. All I have right now is this conversation with you. And I think if people realize that too, that'll alleviate some of the anxiety and the fear as well. That's all you have right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true, actually. That's all we have, because
Mm-hmm.
even if the world wasn't the way things are right now, to the other side, things was gonna be great, but anything can happen tomorrow. And now the good side of it as well. I think people are talking about the planet, like, because we have a lot of animals dying, and the planet was really
Yeah.
bad. And now we kind of everything is kind of recovering right now. Is like all the pains that we give to the planet is like a kind of pay. I feel bad for people actually losing the loved one. I'm not. This is really
Me too.
be all affected for that. But I just feel like the nature, the way things are going, is like people are dying and somebody's born, and it's like, yeah, what is happening right now? The planet is more like chilled out. Everything is kind of healing at the same time. You know, animal.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think there's a lot of animal. They're not being killed because of what is happening right now. The planet
Mm-hmm.
and everything. I think we just have to see the good side of the situation and deal with things that we can control. Things that we cannot control, we just let it together with whatever you believe. So
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing as well, are you, when it comes to focus, do you describe yourself as somebody who's always focused to their goals? Do you plan,
Mm.
or you just follow the vibe? Are you really like focused on things? Do you plan?
Yeah.
Write down
Oh
what
yeah, my friend. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Say it again.
I say, do you write down what you want to do as well? Like, do you write things down?
Like what I've like in this journey of awakening that I took. And let me just speak on that briefly. About 7 years ago, I just didn't like the way my life was living, so I hit the reset button, and I began the spiritual journey of awakening, and that's why I am where I am right now. And one thing that I've learned in that journey, one of the major things was intentions. I
Yeah.
set intentions. Like we learn even as actors when we're breaking down a script. Like if I have a line, I need to have an intention. Like, what do I want you to feel when I tell you this? So that kind of helped me translate it to life. So everything that I do is intentional. Like this, me talking with you is intentional because somebody needs to hear this, and I pray that it gets the ears that it needs to get. That's my intention in this. So with everything that I do in life, I set an intention with it. And that's what one of my things that I wrote down on my list while people are, kind of sequestered and quarantined in their homes, is to write down your goals, because it puts
Yeah.
more power when you write it down. Because one of my friends was telling me, that same friend I was talking about earlier, he urged me to write things down, and so that's what I've been doing. The more and more you write things down, it brings power to it.
Yeah, I mean that's good. Like, what about the people who are lonely? Like, there are a lot of people today, they kind of feel
Yeah.
lonely, they feel rejected, feel like they have actually nobody. What can you tell to those kind of people?
Oh,
How do they survive this time?
subject. My favorite subject, because I just love that, because loneliness is something that affects a lot of different people, but that's because, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes, and please, people take this in love, but I'm saying that people are lonely because they don't think they're enough. I'll give you an example. People, I'm noticing, because of this era that we're in, this age of social media, they think that other people validate them. Like on my page, no one knows anything about me. You don't know about my personal life or anything, because that is not me. That does not matter at all who I'm talking to, if I am even talking to someone, because I am enough. I am the prize.
Yeah,
Once you know that, in my opinion, the loneliness begins to subside, because anyone who's blessed enough to be in your space, or you have them in your space, that's the gift, because you're the prize. So
yeah,
that's what I would say to anybody who's lonely. Do some work, baby. You got to do some work. And it's hard. I took 7 years to do my work, and I'm still working on it every single day. But that's what I would say.
yeah. I completely agree with you. There's another thing as I was gonna say. Do you know the problem I have sometimes? I don't know if it happened to you. I'm sure because you say a lot of good things online, positivity, everything perfect. But does it cross in your mind like, you know what, I'm being all positive, but like you kind of self-judge as well to see yourself if you really match what you're saying. Does it even come
Oh.
across as well? Or same time like you feel some type of way like, oh, you know what, if people can see this side of me or anything, do you ever feel that way?
You have a talent, boy. These questions,
I'm just,
questions are great. That is great. And heck yeah, I feel that way sometimes. Like when I was living in Atlanta, I
yeah,
was on the verge of depression at times. I really, that's why sometimes if you ever see I post a sign, no video this week, because I don't want y'all to see me like that. I don't. I, I, I'll be in a dark place, because I'm not above reproach. I'm not infallible. I am as just as human as the next man or woman. And yeah, but that's what my videos do. If I'm feeling really in a deep, dark, negative place, and I feel like I can do a decent video, I'm speaking to myself more so speaking to my audience at times. And maybe that's why sometimes they may get lower views, because they don't resonate with it. But I believe in being as transparent as possible. But since I've left that environment, and that's another key thing, you got to listen to the essence of your spirit and your soul. I tried to live in Atlanta, Georgia, baby. I tried. I tried. It just wasn't. It
yeah,
wasn't for me. It just was not the city for me. And it took me really talking to one of my dear friends, because I was working at a Pilates studio, because I'm always working with fitness. And she was like, you don't have to stay here if you don't like it. She was like, just go. She's like, pack
yeah,
up your stuff and go. And I was like, you know what? I did. And I left in 2 weeks, and I have been thrilled. I love it. I love it. So that's an awesome question that you asked. And of course, yeah, you work just because you've reached a certain amount, a certain place of enlightenment or a certain comfortability. It's not to say that you won't have different bad days and stuff like that. You have to work on this constantly. It's a constant. It's a practice. It's a journey. It's a marathon and not a sprint.
Because another thing, what I think you might be related to this, because what people don't understand sometimes, we say positive things. We don't just say that because we want to preach something. By saying that, it doesn't mean like we can apply everything. It's like self-healing, you know. When I say something, it coming out of my mouth, every time I heard that, it kind of coming back to my brain. It kind of helped me as well. It's like preaching yourself.
Yes.
That's the thing that people don't understand. To most people are actually who give that positive energy. Is because when you spread something negative, it affects you as well in a negative way. So even when things are not doing good, if you keep the positive mindset, it's gonna come back to your mind and it actually gonna keep you going. It doesn't mean we're perfect. We're just like trying to surround ourself, protect our energy with this kind of vibe. And you're gonna come to one point like yourself. I'm sure maybe it happened before. The fact you are giving so much good energy out there, even if you have something kind of bad to say, and you be like, nah, I cannot say that. Like I'm not made
Mm-hmm.
to spread this kind of information because
Completely.
yourself are built into, you know, something else. I don't know if it happened to you before. Do you feel that way as well?
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course. Yes, yes. Because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Maybe when I first started my True Thursday videos and I first started my Instagram, because maybe I used to think about followers and stuff like that. Then it began to transcend that moment. It became something much, much bigger. It really did. Like I don't even sometimes look at the views I get. Sometimes, but I'll happen to see it, like if I'm responding to someone's comment, and it'll be low. Well, not low, but I mean, it won't be what someone else will think. Like I don't think I've gotten any thousands of views on any of my videos, which is fine because I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it for someone who might need some assistance and someone who needs some help. But I do also think, how can I widen my net to impact more people? And that's why I do need to take time, put pen to paper, and to expand upon my brand with the books, with the talk show, maybe with something else, because I think that that's another thing that I was put here to do, to inspire. So it's always, and I just want to piggyback to the question you asked me earlier about people finding their purpose. It's not a multi-lane purpose. It's going to be several different lanes on the highway of your road to life. Inspiration is one of mine. Activism is one of mine, you know, and it's just finding the little things to make your brand what it is. And if it's not done with the right intention, it's not going to succeed. It's just not.
So what do you describe? What do you describe as a purpose? Like this?
Mm. Mm. You mean a definition of the word?
Yes,
Or
like as yeah, for you actually in general, like what is the
oh,
purpose? Well, because you can have today a good job, you can have everything you want, but what is the difference between having those jobs, being successful in terms of whatever happened in your life, and actually going for your purpose? What is the
mm, mm.
so for me, I can give you my definition maybe to help you out. For
Well,
me,
it was coming, but go ahead. I want to hear it.
no, no, you tell me.
No, go ahead.
For me, actually, for me, my purpose, finding my purpose is like finding something actually what I do that actually make me feel alive.
Mm.
That's for me actually. You know, when I do something that I feel like the feeling is different, you know, because you do that because you love it and you feel alive. Because we do a lot of things, but it doesn't mean like we are happy inside to actually to feel alive is a deep feeling, you know, is something a lot of people don't feel that way. Many people do things, but they still feel empty inside. That's what
Mm-hmm.
makes a lot of people sad that they have a lot of money, they have everything around them, but they still feel sad because they don't have that. They don't know what they're looking for, and they don't know what they're here for.
I agree, and I'm going to piggyback on it. For me, purpose is passion, because I
Yeah,
think that's what you're saying. Because for me, when I shot my episodes of my show, people who would do different jobs on the show, I would ask them, "Okay, sure, you're a good camera operator, but is it your passion?"
yeah.
And if they say yes, I work with them. If they say no, I say, "Well, thank you for your time, and I'll find someone else." Because if you don't have a passion for something, it's going to be lackluster. It's going to be subpar. Like if you're doing something for the wrong reasons and the wrong intentions, it will come out in the wash. It's going to be evident. like I shot a third episode of my show, but I didn't quite choose, I think, the right team, and the show suffered, and no one will ever see it because the sound doesn't work, because the person who did the sound, I don't know if it was their passion or not, or whatever the case may be, but it just wasn't meant to be. But passion, I think, defines purpose completely.
Yeah, definitely agree. Definitely agree. So do you work with a team right now?
Do I work what?
Do you
Sorry?
work with a team? Do you have a team that you work with?
I do not. No, I left the city where I shot my shows, and so I don't have a team right now. So I'm a team of one right now. So
Okay.
that's why I'm focusing more on the writing. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I think we went to a lot of things. So the reason why, I mean, I'm really focused on fitness, but the thing is, the reason why I create like this podcast is because I wanted people to realize like fitness is good, but the mindset is most important. Because in the fitness, we always say like, keep your mind to the muscle, but the mind is very important. The way we think, the positive energy, to surround yourself with people actually that feel that think like you, that talk like you is very important to do. That's why I wanted to meet a lot of people like yourself, to share your journey, and maybe it might help somebody, because especially at this time, a lot of people are living in a depression, and it's very, kind of sad, and
Hmm.
happy that you actually, you wanted to be part of this. I really thank you for that. Um,
Hmm.
Also, there's anything that you want to say, like anything that you want to share with me today? Anything that you,
Uh,
maybe there's more information that you wanted to give?
yeah, yeah. I just want to, in summation, I want to say a couple things.
Yeah.
Number one, in this trying time, I just encourage everyone within the sound of our voices on this podcast to realize that this too shall pass. This is not going to be our future. We will be changed from this, because I mean, it's a pretty big event, and I don't want anyone to think that this conversation has minimized how anyone feels about this. This is serious, but I'm wanting to equip you with the tools so you can make it through, because this too shall pass. And it's all about mindset with regards to finding your purpose, finding your self-love, um, and just finding everything to make you happy, because happiness is an inside job. Only you can do that. It can't be left up to your partner, your best friend, your parents, or anyone. It's an inside job. And number three, of the utmost importance, protect your energy at all costs. If someone doesn't vibe with you, if someone doesn't make you feel your best, if they don't endorse or support you, let it go. And then lastly, if you want inspiration, if you want to check me out on Instagram, you can find me at LYNNETTE_ACTS, or my show page,
Yeah.
which needs to be updated.
I will
But
definitely gonna put the link for anybody want to join her. I'll put all the link. It's gonna be like
yes,
everything that she has. I'm gonna put in the description, as I always do. So make sure you guys
yes.
check it out. If you have anything you want to tell her, if you are, I don't know, if you're having some problem, you just want to have some good energy, make sure you go to her
Yes.
Instagram and you follow her,
Yes.
get in touch. And she's a very nice person that I really appreciate.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show. Oh, I didn't drop the Instagram for the show. It's 500 500 _terrible_dates. But like you said, you're going to post it. But I want to thank you for
Yeah.
providing a platform like this. I want to thank you for reaching out to me. And I feel honored this is my first podcast appearance, hopefully first of many. And maybe I'll start my own podcast and I can have you
Oh
on.
yeah, no, you should actually. You know what? You should. You should, but you
Thank
should. Yeah,
you.
you should. You should do that actually. But if you want some tips or anything, I'll be really definitely gonna help you for that. Because
Thank you.
this is actually, I think I started doing podcasts since December, I believe. I really
Yes.
wanted to do that because I feel like I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of information I need to share. A lot of people I want to talk to, but sometimes when we just give all the information out there, it's good to have it like in one place, and then people can just
Right.
come join and just share with people as well. That's the reason why I created this. I was gonna ask you advice. I was gonna create another page just for the podcast. I don't know if it's a good,
Mm.
maybe I can get advice from you, because I feel like the fitness page is good, but when I mix everything, it's not always relate to everything. Like the conversation we have
Hmm.
today is so good, but sometimes it's not just fitness because it's
Right.
general. So I think I might make a page special for
Yeah.
all the
I
things.
think that would be great, because your fitness page is amazing. Like, I really do love what you do on there. And you're very good at having it focused on that. and
Yeah.
I get like workout ideas, all kind of stuff. And this is another addition to your brand. And I would definitely, if you link the two, I'll follow both, of course,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's so great. And I love the podcast you've had. I haven't heard, didn't hear the last one in its entirety, but I do like that you put up the little clips and everything. So
Yeah.
I would definitely like that. I would definitely follow,
It's a good thing
endorse
because the
my
thing is
page.
like now we spoke for like for over an hour. So
Yeah,
like it's hard for people to just go and listen to the whole thing. Sometimes you have like a great part, a good thing that you're talking about. You
right,
take like a little clip, you put it there, people listen to that part that is really important. So if they like
right,
it, they're gonna listen to the whole conversation. That's
right,
yeah, you know.
right.
So the good thing about the
Agreed.
video, they're very short and they're simple, and that's the reason why people like it. So what I want
Thank
to say
you.
to you, just make sure keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great because
Blessings.
I'm here. That's the reason I'm here for. Maybe
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how many followers you have. A lot of people need some
Right.
5 followers. People don't even comment in whatever they do. People don't even know what they're doing. So quality is more important than quantity.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I was not
Oh.
going to today. So thank you for having you today. And what are you gonna do for the rest of your day? I don't know what time is it down there.
Oh yeah, it's almost 7 o'clock. You've inspired me, and talking to you has inspired me. I want to work more on my brand. I'm going to work
Yeah.
on my list of things to accomplish while I'm quarantined. So once again, like blessings, blessings. And also, what are you going to do for the rest of your day? What you got going on? It's late
You
there.
know what time it is here?
Yeah.
I think it's about
Almost 11, right?
10 o'clock now, 10 p.m.
Oh, 10. Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it easy. Yeah, no, it's no, we're going near. It's actually 10:48. So that means
Yeah,
it's
that's what I
gonna be
thought.
11 p.m. soon. So I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be bedtime. But the thing is,
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna listen to the whole podcast to make sure the sound is great. So that's how
Good.
I like doing things really. Like when I get, I just go straight away.
And
So
that's why you're successful. So that's good.
what did you say?
I said, and that's why you're successful. And that's good because you want to complete things and make sure that they're squared away. So good for you. Good on you.
And the other question is what I always ask people before they go. So what do you do to build your immune system, like yourself? What are you doing
Oh,
right now?
yeah.
Because everybody
Oh,
here to eat whatever they eat. What are you doing right now?
what, like always, I take 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. I eat kale. I eat at least one raw item with every meal that I eat. But I do intermittent fasting. So I do one big meal. So I
Oh,
had
you
my
do
raw
that as
kale.
well?
I had, huh?
You do that as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Can you
You
break
do?
it down for me? How does it work really? Because I know like a friend of mine tell me like you have to eat between 7 o'clock to 1.
Yeah, it depends on which window you want to do. You can choose a window. Me, I'm only allowing myself to eat 1 hour of the day. A lot of people are like, what? It's crazy, but no. But it teaches me discipline. It teaches me it also let's talk about what it does for you from an anatomical standpoint. I found out about 3 years ago that I have an insulin intolerance, and so every time you eat, and it's okay, I'm fine, I'm healthy, but I just have to have a strict diet. But every time you eat, the body uses insulin to break down the food. Now please, y'all, don't come for me, people who listen, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm just saying this is what I do for me. It might not work for you. Please
Yeah.
consult your medical physician before you do this. But anyway,
Okay.
but anyway, it spikes your insulin every time you eat. So if you reduce that spike in your insulin, it'll help maintain the weight. And I also do a low carb, anti-inflammatory diet. So everything that I do is about my immune system. So it's and that's why and I like when people say, "Oh, your skin looks good and everything." I don't wear a lot of makeup. This is really just my skin because I drink a lot of water, eat kale, eat nuts, eat real whole foods that God intended, or whomever you believe in, whoever created this intended you to eat. So that's my answer.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm make sure like if you guys listen to this, make sure you do that. Stop being scared and get some real
Yeah.
food. Not just don't just buy toilet paper. I don't know why people
Yes.
say. I don't know. Is it the same in America?
Oh my gosh. There's no toilet paper anywhere. It's like they're gonna eat this when things go bad. I don't get the mind. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Crazy. I think the only thing we have today is fruits. Like fruit, vegetable. They have it a lot. It's actually people don't even care about it no more. People just like I don't know. It's anyway.
Right.
So it's crazy. So yeah, I think that's the only thing I want to talk to you today. But I'm definitely gonna look forward to talk to you another time. We're gonna talk more about
Yes.
business because the fact is my first time to do a podcast with you. There was a lot of things I wanted to go through, but I feel like
Yes.
you still have a lot of things you need to share. And then if you wanna share anything, just make sure just come back to me, and then we can always plan another thing because I love having a conversation with brain mind. So yeah,
Yes, I would
thanks for
love
having me
that.
today.
Yes. Say one
And
more time. It broke up again. It broke up. Say it
I
again.
say thank you for having you today,
Yes.
and God bless you, man. Have a good
God
time.
bless you too. You be safe. Take care of yourself, brother.